How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hey guys, welcome to Lovely J Podcast. This is Coco. I gotta go turn this fan off. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but I can't hear myself over it. So I'm back, and I want to talk about today, what is Trump doing in that office, signing that bill against homeless people, disabled people, and those that have mental ill disorders and conditions. Y'all got to be careful now how you talk about your mental issues publicly. And I'm just getting right on into it, because if you are not careful, all somebody got to do is say you got an issue, and they're going to lock you up. They're going to put you without due process. Nobody's going to give you a chance to clear your name. You're just going to have to go to a mental institution. Those of you who post on Facebook about having PTSD, depression, and different issues that you may go through, listen, be careful posting. Be careful posting, because we're living in a time when wrong is right. And this is wrong to take homeless people and tell them just because you're homeless and it appears that you cannot take care of yourself, that you deserve to be locked away. You need to get away from everybody else that's in society. This reminds me also of whenever I was saying about the gentrification thing, and like even the people in my town, this is a small town, but they don't want any poor people up front. You either at the back or you're somewhere in the woods. They do not want you up front, because they say it hurts their business. It hurts the income that could come to the town, which goes into, most of their pockets, basically. As we see, people just got in trouble recently over pocketing funds. And I'm not going to get into that, because that's not what this podcast is for today. But what it's talking about today is going to be the Trump signing the executive order July 24th, 2025, titled Ending Crime and Disorder on American Streets. And it's got several points that raise concerns about how unlawful this order is. And I'll just go over a few of these points. Not many, but if you got family members that are sick and you really care about them, and even if you got those family members that are being gang stalked and you're part of the gang stalking toward them, you better be careful how you're casting that upon them, because it's going to come back on you. And now there's something that says that it can come back on you, because this order does not just target mentally ill people. It targets anyone that has had a history of mental illness. Anybody who sits around and says they're depressed or needs to take a vacation because, things just don't feel mentally good for them, or they may be emotionally drained. We're talking about you too. So y'all thought that y'all could get away trying to make others feel crazy and that it would not come back to bite you? Well, you're part of the number, because I'm pretty sure that after you done all this crazy stuff to innocent people, that you go home and you got to deal with you mentally. And that turns into depression. and anxiety. Because now you're going to feel like everybody is doing to you what you done to them. And you're going to try to play that mind game. But hey, let's get into it. I don't want to be here long. What are some of the points of unlawfulness? Expansion of involuntary treatment. The order directs states to expand involuntary treatment for individuals with mental health disabilities or substance use disorders, which could violate the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Rehabilitation Act. Forced treatment without due process can be seen as a violation of human rights and individual autonomy. So that means right now that you can be involuntarily committed just for not feeling well or needing assistance with being taken care of. That's you. And we know that the United States has a number of people who are disabled. Our disability population is high nowadays. I don't know how many of us it is, but I know it's high. It's a high number of people that are on disability now. Lots of people who cannot care for themselves fully or may need just a little bit of help from time to time. And now people are going to worry, is my asking for help in vain? Is it going to get me put into an institution involuntarily? Yeah, that's unlawful. That goes against our amendments, the Constitution. Criminalization of homelessness. All homeless people are not criminals. All of them are not drug addicts. I've heard lots of stories of people who are homeless just because the job may have moved to another town. The job didn't need them anymore. Maybe somebody was in the office that did not like them and caused them to get fired. One time they was on top of the world and, you know, we don't control everything and came off the top. But that doesn't mean that they need to be institutionalized. Where's the bed going to come from? And if you build an alligator Alcatraz for people who are mentally ill or you assume they are mentally ill, America has gone straight down to nothing in a matter of months. Not years, but months. Criminalization. The order prioritizes funding for cities and states that criminalize homeless. So they're going to give our states money if they hurt us, if they ban us, if they institutionalize us. And states that criminalize homelessness ban public camping and enforce laws targeting unhoused individuals. This approach may infringe upon rights of homeless individuals and perpetrate cycles of poverty and marginalization. We already know that this was really done to hurt the minorities, the black people that are on the streets. But you know what has happened over the last few years? I would say the last decade, we are seeing more not Hispanic, but white people. White people are homeless. Their mental health is declining daily. They've got a pressure on them. And I do believe that when these offices start filling up, when these institutions start filling up, you are going to see a lot of police officers, doctors, nurses, lawyers perhaps. You are going to see people institutionalized that you thought had it all together. Because at some point, the doctor's going to have to turn over these records of these patients that they're treating who keeps needing these pills for anxiety and depression and just to cope with life. And who needs them more than first responders? They see a lot. And while at the same time they think that this is going to help them and make the community safer, it's not. It's going to put a lot of them in institutions themselves. You're going to learn that not all first responders are good people, and they do have habits. Uh-oh. Hold up, y'all. I got to change over. Mike went dead. I don't know how much of that y'all heard. I gotta change over some things. Give me a second. I thought that mic was charged all the way up, but it wasn't. I was saying that I don't know how far out it was before it went out. I wasn't looking. But if it comes to the point where doctors have to report who's getting medication for anxiety, depression, or any of these mood disorders, mental health illness, you're going to see a lot of doctors, school teachers, drivers, bus drivers, lawyers, police officers, state troopers. They receive more help mentally than the average person that's just walking around on the street. I heard a doctor once say that he's tired of treating the junkie. And when asked who was the junkie, he said police officers. So let that sink. It's going to expose them. So let this work for our good to get some of these crooked people off the streets. This is still horrible, though. I mean, it's got to be a better way to help homeless people. All that money that's, they are saying billions here, billions there. Well, if that's the case, then build a place for the homeless. Build a place to help them get back up on foot and penalize. Can we add bigger penalties like prison time for people who steal from the communities? I mean, not no small time, but mandatory time for those who steal from these organizations that are supposed to be helping people. I know some of it is already mandatory, but I'm talking about real time that will make a person think twice before stealing from one of these organizations that's supposed to be out here helping the homeless. That's why we have the problem in the first place, because we're not addressing the real crooks. And the real crooks are the preachers. Not all. Now, when I start listing here, it's not all, but some. And the some that they are making a difference. They got an impact, significantly bad impact on our communities. And this is why homeless still exists, because they're stealing from the people that they're supposed to be helping. That's going to be preachers, 501c organizations, charity organizations. These organizations are racking in tons of money and billions, millions and billions. And they're keeping the money for themselves instead of putting it toward helping this person get into housing and get off the streets. Now, true enough, some homeless people do have mental illness and they feel better. They feel better connected outside than they do inside. But why can't you just buy some property and put them out there and put the necessities that they need out there versus just, get the necessary permits and things versus just having, an institution to lock them up. If you're going to put them in an institution, put them somewhere where they can live on their own and still have their dignity. And to think, everybody thought ICE was bad. Wait till this really fully kicks in. Stop telling your social workers everything. Those social workers are there to work for the state. They are not in your corner. Tell them as little as they need to know. They don't need to know the whole history about your family. Stop telling things that your children are doing to try to, I know sometimes we feel like we just got to talk and get it off our chest, but be careful who you're getting it off your chest to. Because these social workers are writing down everything you say, and they may be the very one. I'm going to use for example. You may go in for a food stamp review, but you might slip up and say, well, I've been going through a little something and, just seem to be lingering. Or you may look sadder than usual. And they can use that against you to have you involuntarily committed. And it doesn't really disclose how long you will have to be committed. It doesn't say like 3 days or anything. This could be a lifelong thing, and people could be trying to fight their way out of the system because of lies. That's scary. To think all this power in the wrong hands. Okay. Redirecting funding.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
The order redirects funding to support cities and states that enforce anti-homeless laws while cutting off funding for evidence-based programs like harm reduction and housing first initiatives. This reallocation of resources may undermine effective solutions to homelessness and mental health issues. Oh, I know if they're switching it up where the money goes, yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt our communities. And you governors out there, if you're going to stand by and let this happen, y'all think twice about who you vote for. Medicaid cuts. The accompanying budget bill cuts Medicaid funding, which could deprive millions of people of essential health care services, including mental health treatment and substance abuse support. This reduction may violate the rights of individuals with disabilities and undermine the healthcare safety net. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're not safe. And I did try to tell people this back in 2022 when I realized that they were using my diagnosis against me to make it seem like I was an enemy to the community. I still think to this day that those of us that were part of being targeted, that we are experiments. We are the experiments of reaction of what people would do if this happened to them. And now we're seeing it played out that everybody is a target now. Everybody. Not just the targets, but everybody is a target. Imagine going to the school trying to take up for your child and you get a little bit loud, disorderly, as they call it. And from there, you go straight to the mental ward institution. And you don't know when you're going to get out. Disability rights violation. The order focuses on institutionalization and forced treatment may violate the principles of the Americans with Disabilities Act and Rehabilitation Act, would emphasize community-based services and support for individuals with disabilities. If you're disabled, you're in trouble. Y'all, we got to have each other's back. We got to really watch out for each other. Get up out of the community mobbing programs. Let go of the community watch programs. There's more at stake. The real criminals are making these laws that are going to hurt us in the long run, that are going to hurt our future generation. It's bad enough that we got to deal with the present part of this, but imagine the future of this. If this continues to act, the future is going to be so bad that we are pushed back so far in time that soon it's going to be against the law to even have technology if you're not certified in certain categories, because they're not going to want you to know all this information and too much information. At first, it was a good thing to bring in lots of money, but now they're seeing that all their secrets are being exposed. We got to be careful, y'all. Get up out of those programs. Community watch programs, when it first started, yeah, it was for a good cause. And the reason has always been good, to protect the communities. But when you started turning citizen against citizen, lack of due process. And that's what happens with community watch programs, fusion programs. Lack of due process. A person is not treated fairly, does not have due process. And y'all know that is one of the amendments that they are not following in this order. The order's emphasis on involuntary commitment and forced treatment may bypass due process protections, potentially leading to abuses of power and violations of individual rights. Now, advocacy groups are saying that they are concerned about this. ACLU, go read their articles. They have tons of articles on this. Not tons. They have a few articles out right now talking about this. National Homelessness Law Center and Center for American Progress regarding the potential unlawfulness and negative consequences of the executive order. And that's where you can find all this information that I just read to you. This is not a crackdown on being homeless or disabled. This is an order to have mind control over the people of the United States in real time. This is your order to be controlled. You no longer have freedoms. And they use people like me and others to experiment this on to see what our reactions would be. And they got the reaction they wanted, which was fear. We feared for our lives. Now they're using that same fear on everybody. Nobody is exempt from this. They're not even exempt from this. Just imagine one day a senator walks in and they gang up on him and they don't like him because he's not going along with the program. You get to go to the institution on today. It's horrible. And that's why I want to talk about it a little bit. And y'all voted for him. I didn't. I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him because he didn't line up with my views on how America should be, my opinions about America. I don't agree with anybody who says, let's separate parents from their children. Let's cause a mass desegregation. Let's hurry up and get the blacks away from the whites. The whites away from the black. Let's get the Hispanics back to their native lands. This has got to be a bad time in history. And if you are agreeing along with this, something is wrong with you. You lack sensitivity for humanity. Humanity. It's like a game in the Matrix or something. You're trying to play the game to see who's going to cop out first. Will it be the homeless people? Will it be the disabled people? How can we cut population down? They don't even want some of you rich people. They don't even want some of y'all to be in their organization because you're not rich enough. Imagine not being rich enough even though you're worth millions. But you're not rich enough to be with the billionaires. Well, you get institutionalized. Okay, y'all. I've had enough of this. My final thoughts on this is be careful what you post on social media. Be careful what you say on your podcast. I hate that we have to be censored like this because this is we're being forced to censor our voices or run risk of being institutionalized. And we don't know for how long. Don't even got a time limit on that. It's horrible. Families are going to be separated. Families are not going to be, the strong people in the family, they're going to turn y'all against them because they don't want you to be free. So they're going to put y'all with people who seem fun or seem like they're getting lots of money. They're going to buy so many Americans. Buy so many of you just to walk around and follow innocent people. And then after you get these innocent people institutionalized, then somebody comes back around and do you the same way. They're going to get you one way or another. If they can pay you to watch another person's life and sabotage another person's life, who do you think is watching you? Who do you think is watching you? Who do you think is next? And I'll leave you with that. Who do you think is next? Okay, y'all. Well, peace, love, and happiness. Just a little thought for the day while I got time to do a podcast. I know I don't get much time on here like I used to. Check me out over on TikTok, Jamie the Advocate. I'm over there and I do have a showcase where I sell items that you can use. And we're also on Lovely J Podcast Facebook page. That's where I come in and post a lot on now about even the issues that I'm going through. Mentally wise, I am good mentally wise. Mentally wise, that stuff that's going on is not me. But physically wise and environmental wise, my environment is stressed because of how I'm treated. But as for me taking it to heart, I don't. I know it's an organizational thing. It's organized criminals. That's what Community Watch and these monitors are doing. And that's it. Y'all go have a great day. Thanks for listening to Lovely J Podcast. Be sure to follow, like, and share.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No